supposedly just started, I believe. Salute to Taxstone. If you don't know, one of the podcasters who was like, the original like street nigga podcaster. And he hasn't tweeted in a while, I believe. Well, actually, he did tweet, right? But he did tweet out not too long ago. Let me see. He tweeted out that there was jury selection happening in this case. Let me see if I could pull it up. Appreciate everybody that's been coming to court. That's what he says. To support me in Court B. Okay. All right. Now, I'm trying to see where he was saying about, jury selection just started. But he's saying he's going to come home free. He's very confident. Damn, he tweets a lot. Anyway, his trial just started. He's been sitting trial for a very long time. If you don't know the story, essentially, he had issues with Troy Ave. And, he showed up with Casanova to Irving Plaza where T.I. was performing. T.I. invited Troy Ave, who had a popular song at that time, to come perform. Him and Troy Ave always had words. They basically bumped into each other in the green room. What the story says, according to Troy Ave, Taxstone stood in his way, wouldn't move. They basically start fighting. Troy Ave allegedly takes out a gun, shoots the security that was with Troy Ave, then shoots Troy Ave. Troy Ave wrestles the gun, grabs the gun from Taxstone, and supposedly shoots at him and chases him out of the green room. More shots are fired, and we even see a few things on video. Right? Let me see. Troy Ave, Taxstone shooting. We ended up seeing this video right here. Here we go. Okay. So you see somebody who seems to have a blood stain on his leg, but apparently he got shot. He's limping out of, this is the green room, right? He's limping out of the green room. He has a weapon in his hand that supposedly he just took from Taxstone. And Taxstone just shot his bodyguard. His bodyguard got shot, I believe, in the chest, maybe the heart. His bodyguard is currently on the ground, bleeding out, and eventually dies. Troy Ave, who shot in the leg, grabs the gun somehow, and now is chasing Taxstone, who ran out like a couple seconds before. There's a longer footage that show him running out. And then Troy Ave is in the club. This club is crowded. So now this is the general area of the club, and Troy Ave is now shooting. You're going to see shots, which, by the way, somebody who got to be at least cool with him ran this way, and he's still shooting in the direction. Like, I don't know how. You hope you don't hit your mans or some shit like that, but one. Yeah, and there's a longer footage. Let me see if I can play the longer footage. Here we go.
Gang, and
okay, and he has a whole like thing to it, so I'm gonna mute it. I think he got this from his discovery. He's saying his homies left him, right? So he says this is the guy he came with. This guy dipped, right? This guy's like, yo, this shit probably got nothing to do with me, right? Okay, well, that was his footage. Let's see if we can play I want to play the extended footage. There's an extended footage. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. Okay, all right. Dom is live. Got it. What up, Dom? Where you been at, bro? Okay, so here we go. So what you're going to see right here is right here. Look. Right? The person right here that's running, this is Taxstone. So he just murdered or allegedly murdered Troy Ave's bodyguard. And you basically get Troy Ave, who again, the blood is right here. He's trying to shoot him. Yeah, I thought there was a longer footage. But anyway, this has been going on for so long. It's kind of interesting because there's going to be a lot of social media stuff that get used in the situation because Taxstone, Vlad TV, he pretty much talked about, let me see. Sure. I think he pretty much talked about what he would have done if somebody ran up on him or some shit like that. Let me see. Probably can't find it, man. This shit's been going on for so fucking long. Okay. Anyway, this was Taxstone.
That I'm actually cool with like Edie from the Out.
So somebody,
and I'm gonna give Taxstone the credit. He was the first tough podcaster. Like before Taxstone, people used to look at broadcasters like me. They're like, yo, these niggas is pussy, right? So this guy was the first guy who was like the podcaster who was like, yo, I'm gonna shoot you and I'll go talk about it on my podcast. Like, and shit, me and him, we never had no run-ins. So I just stayed out of his way. I'm like, he's just the gangster guy, right? But apparently he was getting at a lot of niggas, right? Like he was getting at Math Hoffa, he was getting at Troy Ave, and
described the situation, and they was like, I don't know if that's ratting or not. And I basically brought up Tupac's situation when he got shot in Quad Studios, and I said that was ratting when he got shot in Quad Studios.
Wait, why was that ratting?
Because if you get shot, right, and then you offer information on who might have had you shot.
So, he was creating a lot of waves. I remember he had even said something about Meek before, and honestly, Meek and him squashed. This is why I knew he was like a real nigga. Meek and him squashed their beef before Meek and we squashed our beef, and Meek rode around in a Rolls Royce with him. Like, he was talking crazy, too. Like, Meek rode around in a Rolls Royce with him and did an interview. And I was like, oh, shit, this nigga is real gangster.
I was doing this shit for the streets anyway. All this new shit, that's a weirdo lane for me. And it's something I enjoy doing because
So, and also he went to Philly during their beef and had a podcast. You get what I mean? Oh, this is him talking about death threats.
Yeah, one of them niggas hit me up, said some shit. I forgot how exactly he said. He was this faggot nigga, talk too much, some shit like that. I don't know. I don't believe niggas. I don't think niggas is tough. I think they gotta prove themselves. I don't believe nobody raps. I don't believe nothing.
And you have a show coming up in Philly.
Yeah, I got a show coming up in Philly, and that's great. And make sure everybody come out to my show in Philly May 6th, man. Show some love, man. It's gonna be dope, man. Dope-ass interview, too. Real sneaky. But you know what I mean? It's gonna be dope. Yeah, I got a show on May 6th on Philly. I got, like, dudes from Philly hitting me up in my Instagram, like, under my pictures and shit. Like, yo, you dead when you come out here. And I'm like,
people actually threatening your life?
Yeah,
on Instagram?
It's a fucking psychopath, man. Shut the fuck up. I don't even, I wish people knew what tone I read they bullshit in. You know what I mean? I don't believe you.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't know if people fully realize this, but that's an actual terrorist threat. If you go on social media and you say that you're dead when you come out here, I'm going to kill you when you come out here, et cetera, that...
Dudes that knew each other when he could have just called them and say, yo, that nigga Tax is a bitch ass nigga. When I see him, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, or let's link up and let's get busy. For you to hit me on the internet and then try to, and this is what they do. They do this all the time, these dudes. They hit me on the internet, and then when I come back at them on the internet, they be like, this nigga's an internet nigga. I'm like, you just hit me on the internet. If you would have called me, we could have, they say in the words of Bird Gang Shooter, man, if a lion fights a lion, one of them is dying. So if you a lion, you already know.
I'm a fan of Drake.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, the Taxstone he was on timing. Yeah, he got this interview, which I forgot which one it is. But he basically said, what would happen if niggas ran up on him? Let me see what else. Was it this? It might have been this.
seeing me do new shit.
Yeah.
Like, I never limit your game to one hustle. Beanie Siegel once said that.
Well, that
It's always existed in LA.
Right.
But the thing was that when it touched New York put a whole new everything to it, just like motherfuckers do. You know what I mean?
I mean, you don't think it's the, you know, because at one point the LA gang members started to spread out into, you know, set up shop in different cities, and, you know, they started getting locked up at Rikers Island and stuff like that. You don't think that?
Let me see if I could. I'm trying to see if I could just find the clip. I can't find the shit.
To take the, you know, I was like, I had to like be the person to interrupt that. So I just feel like he's like a fraud rapper. Like he never was a drug dealer. Like this dude is
This is him talking about Troy Ave.
just weird. You know what I mean? So that's really it. It's no issues with Troy Ave.
So what did you say that kind of got, because he just released a diss song about you. So
Yeah,
what did you say to
like a
get that?
3-minute diss record. I think it was his best record ever. I actually like the record. I played it 76 times. What did I do? I bothered him for 5 years, like just on social media, just, you know, just calling him out on different things. You know what I mean? He likes to bully like little scrawny white people, but when it come to, you know, dudes this, you know, he think could take him on, he falls back. So I think at this point he decided to attack me after 5 years of attacking him is because now I'm like on MTV and shit like that, and I have like a podcast that's jumping off tax season. So I feel like he probably just used that like, oh yeah, I know he ain't gonna jump all the way out the window, but you know, he's not too smart.
Twitter fingers, how many times you gonna tweet me?
I've been in his video shoots with Mano. This was last year, April, and I've been harassing him for 5 years. So he needs to stop it. You know, he knows, like, you know, it's some shit. And you know that was some backed up shit for you to rap about a nigga that don't rap for 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, that was deep.
Hold on, let me see. Oh, there's a fucking. Oh, okay. There's a little thingy. I'm gonna give my thoughts. I just want y'all to kind of get the crux of this whole thing.
Charlemagne the God. We all know Charlemagne the God. And he gave a very interesting told combat, a famous podcaster. He out to bang, and they.
What the fuck?
That is no longer self-defense because he is not.
What the fuck?
That they own a little.
My brother, because my older brother.
Was such a great guest.
All right. Anyway, I'll play Taxstone's side, then I'll give you like my little breakdown of the case. Taxstone talks. Troy Ave talks. Taxstone. You know, just trying to remain neutral. He came on my podcast and he went ballistic. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm gonna be honest how I looked at it. It felt like,
And then make sure you premise it by telling people that you're easily fooled by, you said my man, but I gotta say, you're easily fooled by.
No, I'm fooled by what I see.
You're fooled
of
by the
course.
smoke and mirrors.
No,
you
hey,
fooled by the
listen,
smoke.
I don't know what's really going on.
Casanova is a fucking tough guy when he's a fucking monkey.
Whoa.
When he begged for his life in front of me.
We're gonna talk about it.
No, but I'm saying
we're gonna talk about it.
You gotta determine to people by because your point of view is important.
Okay,
because
no,
you gotta
it
tell
is, of
people
course,
why.
of course.
Like if a person is a racist, you gotta be like, well,
Hey,
wait, you gotta understand.
we're gonna get a Casanova. I'm talking about Taxstone.
But I want to say we call him Ratstone. Facts. But we want
Why
to
do
say
you call him Rat?
why we call him? He wrote a fucking letter to the judge talking about crimes that I'm allegedly was involved in.
That's a lawyer though.
What do you mean that's a lawyer?
Somebody said, bro, he was trying to sell you. Yo, let me give y'all a piece of content. You see, when I'm doing my content thing, go watch the shit with Hassan. Bro, I know how to play the greenest nigga on earth. Like, oh, just give me the content, baby. Nigga, I came here to get the best content. Like, listen, me, I'm playing the role I need to play to get the reaction I need to get. Don't you worry about me, okay? Listen, Big Act don't need to come out. I'm chilling, okay? I'm getting the right content, okay? This is why I'm Big Act.
Yeah. How's that a lawyer? How's that a lawyer? You pay your lawyer.
And plus, I got to play devil's advocate to get the best shit. What you mean? What you mean he's a rat? You know what I mean? Like, come on, what you mean he's a rat, bro? Like, you know what I mean? You know when I ask a question like that, how mad nigga get? What you mean? What do you mean he's a rat? Like,
Hey, if you say, hey, Troy Ave and his friends, they shot these people. I'm not in jail for that. You blow him, not saying.
You know, when the nigga say that, I'm like, nah, he ain't say that. He ain't say that. It works.
You blowing me up. But I'm not in jail for that. Now, what if they want to investigate me into that and I go to jail? Come on, dog. Don't do that. Don't do that. But we gotta premise the people by saying that you are a person that
No,
you see,
hold on.
that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see shit and you be like, wait, this is at face value. This nigga might be
I
tough.
take it at
and
face
they're
value.
not
No, no.
tough.
I
And they're
won't
not
know
tough.
what's
Troy Ave
really
bullies the
going on.
bullies, you hear
I
me?
won't really know what's going on in the streets. Whatever I see online,
Streets is a myth, dog.
If I see something online
Streets
and
is
you
a
don't
myth.
respond, I'll think it's true.
Streets is a myth. Troy Ave went to jail. Why my sneakers at the bottom look dirty? You see the top. It's still fucking dirty. Anyway, I went to jail. I paid my own bail immediately. I didn't cry to ask for nothing. I sat for 2 months.
Couple months.
I sat for 2 months. No. I didn't. You know why I sat for 2 months?
Why?
Wait, let me ask you. Why you think I sat for 2 months? Because we gotta get rid of all the myths.
They locked you up for attempted murder, and I thought you sat.
Go ahead.
Because
Not only attempted murder, but keep going.
I thought you sat just because, man, it's New York City. They don't play that shit like in a public establishment.
What are you saying? I sat because I had the money to bail out?
No, it's not because you don't have the money. I thought
I can't think of them. I can't speak on the mind of problem. I don't want no beef. And you teaming up with fucking biggest gangsters if you pick and choose your battles. You can't be gangster with this person. You can't be fucking, you see Soulja Boy at backstage and want to press him, but then when Nuke is on your body, yo, I don't want no problem, I don't want no beef. And you teaming up with fucking, Asanova teamed up with other Bloods and he dick rode his way into an indictment.
Wait, so
pussy, don't drop the soap, nigga. Facto.
Wait, hold on. So
Still getting money.
So hold on. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I don't give it. I'm giving niggas hell until I go to heaven. I don't care.
So
there's no rules to a reaction. It's no rules.
All right. Let me just give my breakdown. So trial is about to start. I think it's going to be a very interesting trial, right? So from what I understand, Taxstone has a gun possession charge. And he also has a murder charge, and I think an attempted murder charge, right? Now, here's the problem, right? So, again, I described this case to y'all. A green room, bunch of celebs in it, right? Everybody's in it. Taxstone's already in there. I think Casanova was kind of like in another room. In walks in Troy Ave and his bodyguard. Apparently, he don't want to move. He probably would say that's not what it was. He probably would just say they attacked me. I think that's what he said in an affidavit to the judge. Like, yo, my client just got attacked, right? So let's say either or. They jump on Taxstone. Taxstone got a gun on him, allegedly. Pulls out the gun, shoots one guy, shoots the other guy. The gun falls because they're probably close to him or whatever. Gun falls. He runs out. Troy Ave picks up the gun, walks out, tries to shoot. Okay, what legally is probably going to happen? Number one, the biggest thing and the biggest problem here is that somebody died, right? There was a murder that occurred. Okay. Taxstone, I believe, is banking on the fact that there won't be eyewitnesses that will identify him as the shooter. Apparently, the security and surveillance footage in that room doesn't clearly show who shot. But the narrative, which really has been coming from, not Taxstone, Troy Ave, he's saying that's the guy who shot, right? So Taxstone is saying you're snitching. Keep in mind, this is where the street rules get weird. If you go out with your bodyguard and a nigga shoots your bodyguards and kills him and shoots you, and then all that's captured on the only camera that gets footage is the camera that gets footage of you with the gun in your hand, not the guy who shot y'all allegedly, you look really guilty. So at first, Troy Ave was looking at a murder charge. They were trying to say Troy Ave killed his bodyguard. Now, clearly, something has changed. Maybe more investigation is done. They're saying, and apparently they found Taxstone's DNA on the cartridge of the gun, which means he brought the gun to the club because he had loaded the clip. The clip was never reloaded, so whoever loaded the clip before they brought the gun into the place, they brought the gun to the place. So they believe that's Taxstone. Now, Taxstone's been sitting for 5 years, 5 maybe 6 years. So let's just imagine that whatever gun possession, even if he pleads out and takes that, or if he gets found guilty for that, that's time served already. So don't worry about gun possession. All that matters for Taxstone is attempted murder and murder. This is why the whole conversation of snitching is happening. Because it appears that Troy Ave, while trying to claim self-defense, and by the way, self-defense laws rarely even go into play in New York, right? Like, they're trying to use it in the K Flock situation, but a lot of people might be like, well, you're not supposed to have a gun at all. So if you're not supposed to have a gun at all, how could you really be in a position of self-defense if you were already doing something illegal that led to something else happening, and then now you're using a gun, right? So it's weird. New York City is just weird because they don't allow no guns unless you're a former law enforcement agent or a current one that's off duty. So let me just say this again. New York City, which is the 5 boroughs, which is Queens, Brooklyn, New York City, Queens, okay, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, and I think Staten Island. Is Staten Island one of them? I don't know. What the fuck? That's the 5 boroughs of New York City. In New York City, you cannot have a gun unless you're a law enforcement agent. It's probably one of the only places that you will never get a permit to have a gun. Okay? If you're caught with a gun, because that's why they used to do stop and frisk. Nobody's not supposed to have a gun unless you're a law enforcement agent. If you're caught with a gun, they usually just give people 3 years. So this is why self-defense don't kind of work. So since you're not supposed to have a gun, you having a gun is illegal already. And then, there's a bunch of legal jeopardies that happen because if you're already breaking the law and you went out seemingly breaking the law, how could you then try to claim self-defense when self-defense is usually to protect someone who is usually not doing anything wrong and now being victimized by somebody else? So that's why the K Flock situation is weird, because K Flock supposedly had a gun with him, right? You're not supposed to have a gun. So that's the thing they could argue intent to say, why is he walking around with a gun? Of course, his lawyer's going to be like, yo, he's a drill rapper, he needs a gun. But other people are going to be like, yo, bro, he was walking around with a gun. Maybe he was looking for his enemies to try to do something to. It's not self-defense. Now in the situation with Troy Ave and Taxstone, allegedly Taxstone had a gun. But here's the thing with Troy Ave. Troy Ave supposedly didn't have a gun walking in. He supposedly fought and wrestled the gun away from Taxstone. Now that does sound like self-defense. Here's where self-defense stops, though, because I would believe if Taxstone pulls out a gun, shoots Troy Ave, and kills his bodyguard, and somehow Troy Ave gets the gun and shoots Taxstone, they'd be like, that's self-defense. Somebody just shot you with a gun, you wrestled the gun, you shot him back, whatever. Unfortunately, this ain't Florida or Texas. So self-defense laws stop immediately once the person is no longer a threat, right? So if in the moment you grab the gun and shoot him, okay, we could probably be like, okay, you neutralized him, as the baby would say. Cool, that's self-defense. Now, once you take the gun from the guy and he's running out, you can't chase, not in New York City. You can't chase him. Now, stand your ground laws in like Florida and Texas and even Georgia usually kind of state loosely, don't start no problems, because once you start it, the victim has all the right to finish it, right? So once you start the altercation, the person could stand their ground, and if it's open to interpretation what stand the ground means, because yeah, you might have punched a nigga in the mouth. If it escalates to him standing his ground and shooting you, he's beating the case. You get what I mean? Because that doesn't exist in New York City, Troy Ave running out the let me see if I can find the video again. Running out the room to chase Taxstone to shoot him. Troy Ave chase Taxstone. Let me see if I can play the video. Yeah.
It was a drug dealer like.
Shit. Where is it again? Yeah, him running out the room and chasing him, that would technically not be self-defense. Actually, there's a bunch of charges that come with this. So this happened not only in New York City, which is a big no-no. This happened in Irving Plaza. There were other people hit. So in the room, which is the green room in here, right? There's a woman that gets shot. it's Mano's girlfriend. Apparently she got shot perhaps in the face, right? So Mano's girl gets shot, and the gun goes off a couple of times, but one of the time the gun goes off while pointed down, I guess maybe while wrestling it, and the bullet goes through the fucking floorboard and hits somebody who's on the lower floor, because that's where the massive people are. That's where the crowd is, right? So the trajectory of the gun or the bullet goes down, hits somebody there. So 2 other people get shot. So 4 people in total. Troy Ave, his bodyguard who dies, Mano's girl, and another person who's just a fan. Now, let's try to talk this through. And this is why I think the snitching thing kept coming up. What's probably going to happen is that they're going to say to Troy Ave, yo, Troy, check this out. Honestly, and I'm not picking no sides here, I'm just going off the story. And, apologies to Taxstone if, I don't know your side, or I don't know the intricacies of your side, but I believe most people are going to view this like Troy Ave is somewhat of a hero. Why? He's unarmed, allegedly. He gets shot. His bodyguards get killed, and he somehow wrestles the gun away from you and tries to defend and even pursue you. Now, he shouldn't pursue, but this is where the quote-unquote snitching things come in. So what charge could Troy Ave get for doing this? This is, I don't know if Troy Ave shot somebody by mistake. That would be definitely, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. But he's definitely going to get a charge for discharging a firearm in a crowded place, right? By the way, don't these charges sound similar to Tory, except these are going to get amplified because there's so many things that get, like this is at a public venue. So for example, the people who got shot, they sued the venue and they sued the company. This is a Live Nation venue. They're protected by hundreds of millions of dollars in insurance. The city also has certain type of financial incentives with these buildings. Basically the people who got shot are suing. So when money is going to have to get doled out, somebody's going to have to go to jail. So it might not only be Taxstone, it might also be Troy Ave. But I think they're going to look to Troy Ave and say, listen, Troy Ave has a sympathetic case to what a jury might say, well, you took the gun away from him and then you shot back. Now, granted, this is what I think that Taxstone's story is going to be, or what his lawyer's going to say. His lawyer's going to say, yo, Taxstone was just chilling there. He was causing nobody no problems. He wasn't doing nothing to nobody. And what happened is Troy Ave started the altercation. Troy Ave walked in with his bodyguard, saw Taxstone by himself, probably said, yo, here's this pussy that's been talking shit about me online. I got people with me. He don't. Let's get this guy. Jumps on Taxstone, punches him up. Taxstone may have backed out a weapon, but he backed it out in his self-defense. You get what I mean? So I think that's where it's going to happen. But I believe because they're going to give the murder to, or they already did, to Taxstone, they're going to look at Troy Ave to say, Troy, for us to really convict Taxstone, we need you to testify. Because apparently there were 40 people in that room and nobody, just like the takeoff situation, nobody wants to talk. Mano not talking. Nobody, everybody claimed they was in the room, they ain't hear nothing, they ain't see nothing, right? Cool. So who's going to have to probably end up talking? They're going to say, I believe they're going to say to Troy Ave, if you take the stand, we will probably give you a year in jail or something, a year in prison for what you did. But we're trying to get him for 40 years. We're trying to get him for life. You get what I mean? So now it comes down to the street ethics again. Troy Ave and Taxstone don't like each other. But if Troy Ave cooperates to save himself, which essentially some people, if this is not some street shit, you would look at Troy Ave as a possible victim, right? His man just got killed. He took the gun and shot at the other dude. You would say this thing is a hero. But this is the streets. In the streets, you're not supposed to cooperate. You're not supposed to talk to the cops, nothing like that. I think they're going to look at him and say, we could make your problems go away easier if you tell, or not tell, well, I guess tell, cooperate and tell us what Taxstone did. Do you do it? Do you do it, chat? What would y'all do? Give me a second. I'm trying to get caught up with the comments here. What would y'all do, chat? I see a lot of people in the chat saying this is what they would do.
I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it.
So essentially, this is what's just happening, bro. Like, this is about to get to the point that I believe Troy Ave is going to have to take the stand, and he's going to have to make the statement to help the police convict Taxstone, to say Taxstone fired the fatal shot that killed my bodyguard and also shot me. And I believe if he gives that testimony, that will allow, right? That will allow Taxstone to have a favorable outcome for his pending charges. Now, Taxstone, no, not Taxstone. Now, Troy Ave claims that Taxstone is the one telling. And the reason why he says that is that apparently Taxstone letter to judge. So Taxstone's lawyer wrote a letter to judge. And in the letter, I don't know if I could pick the letter up. Where's the letter? I don't know if I can find it. Okay, here we go. We're going to get the letter. So where's the letter? Okay. In court papers obtained by Bossip, the tax season host said that it's Troy Ave, not him, who's facing attempted murder, and said the police have the video of him firing wildly, and blah, blah, blah. Further, Taxstone argues that it's Troy Ave and his crew that was implicated in another shooting days before, and that the best friend, the banger who got killed, was on bail for the incident. So basically, I mean, his lawyer's doing what every lawyer does, saying, yo, we ain't do it. Look at them other niggas over there. But according to Troy Ave, he says this is telling. He says, why are you pointing out crimes and pointing at me in court through a letter to the judge? This is why I keep telling y'all, as a gangster, you can't win because you can't argue your defense. You start arguing your defense, niggas say you snitch on them, right? And it's not even like your friends saying you snitch on them. It's the enemy. Yeah. So yeah, the podcast host lawyer points finger at Troy Ave involvement, whatever. In a letter to the judge, Taxstone's lawyer argued that he's no flight risk. He has a good job. And he questioned, oh damn, it's a little slick hating. He questioned why Troy Ave was granted bail despite facing more serious charges. All right. Anyway, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. Apparently, this is about to come to, probably a helm within the next couple of months. We will see, man. All right. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, in rap, we just keep talking about this goddamn snitching. Everybody was snitching. So anyway, after this Woody thing, and we're going to get to Woody again afterwards, but Gunna's lawyer actually dropped a new statement.